You are currently the only person in this conference. You are currently the only person in this conference. You are currently the only person in this conference.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So we are back again with another class. I think today is our or fourth class, probably. Am I audible to everyone? Okay, good. Okay, so let's begin. Um, in the last class, we covered the establishment-related functions. So, there are three set of functions or three types of functions, or the functions of an entrepreneur are divided into three categories. Okay, the first one is establishment-related functions, means functions that help in the starting of an enterprise. Then the second one is management and operations related functions. So today we cover the management and operations related functions. Okay. So again, one thing I want to remind you that I will be marking your attendance during the class at any random point of time. So make sure that all of you are online throughout the class. Okay. Also have a notebook and a pen along with you at all time when you are attending the class, so that you take notes, so that you can note down description or whatever important points or examples I give you to explain each and every point, because that is what you will have to do on your own. Okay. So we'll start with management and operational functions. First is organizing and managing the enterprise. Okay, so uh, first of all, let's talk about management and operational functions. Here, once the organization has been set or established in the establishment related functions, now we start or begin with the actual process of running the enterprise. Okay, now running the enterprise or working in the enterprise may include a lot of things which require management skills. Okay, there are various set of operations that are going on within the enterprise. So, organizing and managing the enterprise is a very important aspect of an entrepreneur's responsibilities. Now, here we were studying about the characteristics of an entrepreneur. At that point, there was one of the characteristics that said uh, he is the he needs to have managerial skills, right? So managerial skills would not only mean relating to managing of people, it also means um, managing the use of resources, managing the supply of resources, managing the sales, managing finances. So all these things require management functions. Okay. Okay. Pallavi says that my voice is cracking. Is that so? Um, is is my voice cracking? Oh. Maybe there's some network issue. Can you not understand what I'm saying? Okay. It will be clear in a few minutes. There may be some kind of technical issue, or maybe there's congestion in the line. So for some, it may not be clear. Maybe there's a network problem with your device. That may also be the case. Okay, so whatever you don't understand or whatever you don't hear, you can ask me again in the comments box. Okay, so um, so we were talking about organizing and managing the enterprise. Next, we come to getting finance. Now, organizing and managing the enterprise involves gathering all kind of required resources. So we try to gather and collect whatever useful resources we may need. It may include human resource, it may include um, various kinds of raw material, machinery, tools and equipments. It may also include paperwork, stationery, every kind of the smallest and the largest requirement has to be fulfilled here in order to make the organization work properly. Okay. The next most important function is to get finance. Now, getting the finance is important because, as we have spoken about it, that finance is the lifeblood of business. Now, speaking of lifeblood, can a body function without blood? It cannot, right? Even if blood flow is low, it stops to function, or there's problems in the human body. It is the exactly same concept with, uh, or which is applicable to an organization as well. So we need to gather finance resources or financial resources from whatever sources we have planned to. It may be getting a loan from the bank, it may be getting funding from an agency, it may be getting funding under a government scheme, it may be funding under an incubation center. Can anybody tell me what an incubation center is? What do you mean by an incubation center? Does anybody know? Have you even heard about it? Nobody knows? Incubation center? We also have one in our college. If you have been coming to the college, you may have seen it. An incubation center, okay, I'll explain. An incubation center, um, it is the same concept that applies when when a baby is born and not very healthy. Uh, the baby requires some kind of life support. Okay, maybe a little extra oxygen, or maybe a little warmth. Okay, so in that case, the baby is kept in an incubator for some time, for some days, or maybe some hours. Okay, so voice is not clear again. Hello, can you hear me? See, it may uh, there may be problems in during maybe in between the sessions. It will get clear. Okay, so basically, an incubation center is a life support system for an organization, for a business. Okay, Is it clear now? Okay, good. Oh, voice is not clear. A lot of people are saying voice is not clear. Okay, I do one thing. I'll write the description in the comment section. Okay, so you can read it and then we'll try in a few minutes again. So okay. So is my voice clear now? Can you hear me now? Basically, an incubation center or an incubation cell is also a life support system for the newly established enterprise. Okay, it provides all the necessary resources. It provides all the necessary resources or the help or any kind of support that is required for any organization to thrive. Okay, so when we talk about an incubation center, we also have an incubation center in our college, but we have dedicated that incubation center to the development of fashion technology. Okay, so it is an incubation cell for fashion designing. Okay, so any of the students in the college, if they are interested in fashion designing, if they want to start their own business, maybe a boutique or something, they can join the incubation center. There they are helped in all the ways. Maybe a little financial help is also given sometimes. And there is consultation, advisory, there's logistics support, there's training. All these things are provided in an incubation center. Okay, I'm not sure why my voice is not clear to you all. I'll do one thing. thing. Okay, so next is um, so we were talking about getting finances. So getting finances, we have to search for various sources. We may have already searched and decided for getting financial help depending on the availability of. Can you hear me? Am I audible to everyone now? Please inform me if I'm audible. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, so let's continue before it starts breaking again. Um, yeah. So next is bearing risk. So once we have established the organization, we have set up all the resources and the equipment required, and we have also arranged the finances. After that comes bearing the risk. Now we have started the production, we have started the actual activities that the organization was built for. Once we set up the activities, once we set up the organization, now comes the part where you have to actually bear the risk. Now, bearing the risk will involve setting up or dealing with uncertainties, uh, dealing with opportunities, maybe um, we have to convince the customer, we have to talk to the customer, we have to ask them for their feedback, make them try the product. A lot of companies, what they do is, especially mobile companies, smartphones, they produce a new model. If they produce a new model, they make some of the employees in their organization use it for free. Okay, they provide them the device and ask them to use it for several days. Once they use it, they are required to give a report or submit some kind of feedback, telling them that what are the problems they faced, what were the issues that have to be fixed. So before actually selling the product, what they do is they follow this strategy that they make the employees of the organization act as customers and try the product. Okay, so that once the product hits the market, they do not have any issues to deal with. Okay, so bearing the risk involves trial of the product. It may involve convincing the organization, customers for whatever new product or new service the organization is offering. Next comes distributing remuneration. Now, once we start production, it is not possible that from the first day we have started the organization, we start earning something. Okay? It takes a while, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years to actually earn some kind of profit or benefit out of whatever production activity you are doing. So, if it takes us 6 months or 1 year to actually start earning, because what happens is when I start the organization, maybe I'm trying to produce water bottles. Now, I have set up the uh, plant, I've set up the machinery that was required to produce these bottles. I start production, I get the raw material, I do everything. But from getting the raw material to actually selling the product to the customer, it may take a while. Okay, it may take some time, maybe a few days to for the raw material to reach us. It may take a few days for us to actually convert that raw material into finished product and then send that finished packed product to the market for selling. Now, it may be a long supply chain. It may be possible that we send it to a wholesaler, then that wholesaler sends it to further few wholesalers, then those wholesalers send it to future retailers. Now, this chain takes a lot of time, okay, and we only earn when the product is actually sold to the customer, okay, because this is a new product. A lot of retailers or a lot of wholesalers may not accept to sell this product. They may say, okay, if you want to leave the product with me, you can leave it. I will try to sell the product. If it sells, I will pay you, and if it does not sell, you will have to take the entire lot back. Now, if it takes 6 months for me to actually earn or get a recognizable amount of money from sales, is it possible that for 6 months my employees will work for me for free? Will I not have to give them salaries? I will obviously have to pay them. No employee will work for me if I do not give the required salary or the promised remuneration. Okay, so I have to distribute remuneration, and I have to keep this amount in mind that I should have at least an year's worth of salaries in my account when I am getting the finances arranged. Okay, so distributing remuneration is a very important part of managing function. uh, I have to pay them no matter what. Even if I'm going in losses, even if I'm not earning anything, if the organization has stopped working, doesn't matter. Okay, I have to pay my employees their respective remuneration. Okay, next we come to formulating efficient marketing strategies. Now, here comes the most important function. Everything that we have done up till now is based on selling the product to the customer, right? If I do not sell the customer, if I'm not contact or aware, make the customer aware of the required or the produced product, they will not know about my product, and if they do not know about the product, they will obviously not be able to purchase it. Okay, so designing the efficient marketing strategy starts right from planning the product. Okay, the moment the entrepreneur decides, yes, I want to start a business and this is the XYZ product that I want to produce. From that point onwards, from the initial thought that I have had for a product, for a business idea, I have started making marketing decisions. Okay. Now, why I am saying this is because marketing starts right from the conceptualization of business. Say, for example, I'm trying to produce water bottles. Okay, I'm trying to make water bottles, plastic water bottles. I will have to remember who I am actually producing for. Maybe it is possible that I am producing this for people who are involved in sports. Okay, so before designing the product, I will have to keep this in my mind that the product that I'm producing should be usable and should be comfortable enough for use of people who are involved in sports or sports activities. Okay, this is the most important part, because if I think about what I feel should be produced, it will not sell. Okay, so we have to keep in mind that whatever product we are producing has to be important and relevant in the eyes of the customer, not in the eyes of the entrepreneur. Okay, so formulating efficient marketing strategies. So this is a continuous process. This keeps going on. As I said, starting from conceptualization of the product to even selling the product, and even after the sale has been done, marketing keeps going on. Like nowadays, there's a trend. You may have seen that if you have used Ola cabs or maybe Uber, Ola cabs and Uber, they send you various notifications and marketing. These are all marketing techniques. Okay, they send you messages that this is percentage off or this is discount going on, and etc. etc. That is marketing. Once you use that service, even after the use of the service, you are asked to rate the driver. That is also part of the marketing strategy. How they want to know what are the things that you feel most positive about, what is the thing that made you purchase their service, and they work on that particular thing or that particular aspect, and try to improve it, try to highlight it. Okay, they also take negative feedback into concern, and ask their customers what they did not like in the product. Okay, so these are the management and operational related functions. So I hope everybody has understood these functions. Please mention in the comment box if you have followed what I have taught, and if there are any doubts, you can ask me now. Was there anything that you did not understand? If there are any questions or concerns, you can ask me in the comment box. Okay. So Khyati wants me to explain the last point once again. Okay. So when we are talking about marketing strategies, designing the right marketing strategy is important for every entrepreneur. Okay. Now, while designing the marketing strategy, we have to start right from the conceptualization of the product. The minute I think about what product I am going to produce, from that moment onwards, I have to think from the marketing perspective. Will the customers like it? Will this attract them? Will this color attract them? Will this design attract them? There are numerous thousands of water bottles being produced today. Okay, how will my water bottle stand a chance against all those producers who are already producing the product successfully and are selling it for so long? Okay, so I have to design the right kind of marketing strategy for my product. Okay, so for tomorrow, I want everyone to write a small description about all these points and mail it to me. I'll write my mail ID in the comment box. Okay, so that's all for today. I have another class after this. So if you have any other questions also, I want everyone to write small descriptions, 2 to 3 lines about all these 5 points that we discussed today. Okay, just a small description, whatever we discussed. Okay, so thank you, guys. We'll meet again tomorrow.